Great marijuana. That is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen.
Marijuana is referred to as Mary Jane, pot, weed, or tea.
That Michoacan, man, Acapulco Gold, man. I even smoke that tight stick.
We're smoking reefer.
The realest thing smoking on the internet. The Podheads Web Show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4:20 on a Wednesday, and you're in the Cypher with the Podheads. I'm your Commander-in-Chief, Frank the Tank, and as always, I'm hanging with my very best buds, JB Perez.
So what's up? JB Perez in the Cypher with the Podheads. We're at the Podheads Web Show on all the social media platforms. We're on Spreaker.com, 102jams.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all over the place. Hey, we're back in the Cypher. What's up, C-Money?
Yeah, everywhere is an understatement now. I think we're on Castbox now. I never even heard of Castbox. But shout out to them for housing the Podheads. We are really everywhere, so I think it's just about time people spread the word because you can't miss us. So we're at that point now. Going to be a good show.
Absolutely. By the way, shout out to WJHM102jams.com. You can find all of our most recent episodes on there. You can find all of our episodes on Spreaker, Google Play, Castbox, like everybody said. Just Google the Podheads Web Show. We're out there. Look for us on Instagram and Twitter as well. We're very active on there. Show us some love. We'll show it right back. By the way, shout out to GCW. They're doing their thing out there. Jeremy Gomez and all that. Here in October next month, the Podheads will be joining them for their year anniversary show. So stay tuned for more details about that. Anyway, guys, it's going to be a good show. We're going to talk about the NFL. Who's got the power? The players or the teams? Especially regarding people like Antonio Brown. We're also going to have our usual favorites, right? We're going to find out what burns C-Money's high. We're going to find out what's going on in the week in weed, and we're all going to get educated with higher learning. So stay tuned. It's going to be as fun as any other. But before we get things started, gentlemen, shall we do this as we always do?
Yes.
You know, I never named my new piece. We had it on the last episode. It's hard.
Crystal Beth.
Crystal Beth. It sounds too much like crystal meth to smoke.
I know.
I see you got Rastaconda, though.
I did. I got Rastaconda here with some great, very dense bud. I don't know what it is because I just asked my plug for his best, and this is what he gives me. Very dense, very good. So shout out to him for that, and Rastaconda for housing it. So there you go.
Have you ever had a female plug, any of you guys? Where just primarily she was the one you got from.
Oh.
Yeah? What was that like, C-Money?
It was actually in Orlando. I think you introduced me to her years back. Or something like that, but she knew who you were. And it was...
Was she attractive?
She was cute, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was cute. But it was just weird going to her. I really hate when people just aren't careful. Every time she'd pull up, her car is reeking. She's reeking this. And I'm like, you're just stupid. Like, what are you doing? And there was sometimes I would think that there was a undercover down her street, random times, Dodge Charger, all, you know what I mean? Like, but
you're paranoid a little bit.
And there was one night she asked me, she's like, do you like to drink beer, this and that? And really, I don't. But something told me, man, to just be like, don't.
Always go with your gut feeling. Listen, everybody thinks they're a plug. Especially these days where marijuana is very readily available. Everybody thinks they're a drug dealer. Then you get people like that who are to come up reeking, smoking bud, forgetting that it's still very illegal, especially in Florida.
Listen, and if, you know what, I just want to touch on that real quick. I don't want to cut too much into the week and week because I know it's coming. But what is it these days? That's why so badly I just want Florida to become completely recreational because everybody and their mom's a drug dealer these days, right? But back when I was like a kid, when I was a little bit younger, from where I'm from, if you sold, you were like 7-Eleven, 24 hours a day. You always had. You were never out. What's up with these guys nowadays? They tell you they're on their way. You don't hear from them for 6-7 hours. They're always out. You know, I'm like, dude, come on, man. This is the fakest drug dealers out here. Have you seen that?
There is one kid when I was 17 years old. You could hit him up at 3 p.m., 3 a.m., 12 PM in an alternate universe, that kid would always say, how many? I mean, all the time, bro. And when I was broke, struggling, he would hook me up with dime bags. This kid only dealt weight, but he hooked me up. There's a few gems out there. There's a few. Do you guys ever have a gem? Did you ever have one?
OGs.
Oh yeah.
I have a gem right now. This guy's a diamond in the diamond store, really. 'Cause he on everything. But anyways, I guess that's a great segue into what is now known as probably the best hashtag on the internet. Hashtag the Week of Weed, y'all.
Wherever you are, wherever you go, whatever you're smoking on, the news that matter to you, the news you want. It's the Week in Weed.
Hashtag the Week of Weed, the segment where I bring you the latest and greatest cannabis news from around the world. And since we're talking about drugs and everybody thinking that they're plugs and drug dealers, let's start right there, guys. First headline in this week's Week of Weed is this. Police chopper was doing surveillance over a bicycle race in Spain. You know, just checking, making sure everything is legit. And as they're covering the race, they fly over a rooftop with over 40 marijuana plants being grown there. So they basically these guys got caught up growing 40 plants because there was a street race going along their route. Hilarious. They don't know who it is, right? They didn't have a name attached to the plants because this was a metropolitan type building. But somebody had access to it, and these were large plants. So this has been going on for a while. Had some solar panels up there. So this was some sort of little operation. And it seems to me, and in Spain, it's obviously illegal. So they confiscated it, and they're still doing the investigation.
Damn, that's crazy.
Check it out, yeah. By luck? I mean, you got caught by luck?
One guy is sitting in his place just going, oh!
He's watching this on TV. Oh, my God.
That's true, yeah. He's just sitting there sweating bullets.
And he can't, what's he going to do? Go out there and he just
Sorry, guys,
sit there and...
Yeah.
Just looking here, there is a legal threshold of marijuana over there in Catalonia, Spain. So, but it's illegal to sell it and have weight. So this guy, if they get caught, you know, a lot of fines, probably jail time.
That's crazy.
So, guys, yeah. So moving on to my second week of weed. This is from my home state. And we'll stay on the criminal topic here. In Massachusetts, there's a small city called Fall River, Massachusetts. And I don't know how to segue into it other than just this. Here's the headline. The mayor, that bastard, the mayor, Jaziel Correa, a Latino, POS Latino, that makes us all kind of look bad, was arrested and accused of extorting money from marijuana dispensaries to get
extorting
licensed.
Marijuana businesses. Son of a bitch.
Extorting
Wow.
marijuana businesses. Check this out, guys. This POS, this one really pissed me off because one, it's from my state, and again, I said a Latino who's really who gets up there, a mayor of a city, and you know, here you go. But here are the facts, guys. Correa, 27-year-old mayor of Fall River. Okay, in Fall River, you need a written approval letter of a local government official, and in Fall River, it is him. Plainly, the FBI investigated that he was extorting up to 8 businesses, required to pay him $100,000, guys, each. 2 of them ended up being his sister's brothers.
Oh,
you understand? So he wasn't very smooth about it at all. And he got caught up. The FBI got him. He's in jail. He's probably going to bond out. But again, a mayor, a elected official got caught up on extortion of marijuana businesses, guys.
But damn, dude, $800K. I mean, what's his salary really? What is
probably
it?
like
Maybe
50K, 60.
Yeah. 800 G's, dude. Jesus. I mean, it's funny when you see a senator or whatever that makes
a mayor,
$250
right?
a year, but they're worth $100 million. Like,
Yeah. Oh, bro, how do you go in as like a local politician making less than 6 figures? As a mayor, probably you're making close to 6 figures, sure. But you walk out of office a millionaire. That's how
with a
crap like that.
coat.
Yeah, with a mink coat.
He's
Yeah,
a
you walk out
bastard.
there looking like
Let
Frank
me just
Lucas.
make the facts clear because I got my numbers mixed up. The news just says hundreds of thousands of dollars. There is no legit number, but
Sure.
even if it's over $100,000, you're still a POS for doing this, guy.
If it's any amount, I mean, come on, he's he's extorting business. He's like a mob. That's the mob kind of stuff
up,
right
dude.
there. Who does this guy think he is?
Crazy. Dude.
And he's messing with the 420 movement, which that's three big things right there.
All right, I'm looking at the clock, Frank the Tank, and it's almost time to go. I actually like to talk about the southern states and the deep south, deep red states that are kind of transitioning over to marijuana because it's kind of like an oxymoron to me. You know what I mean? I get so much hate from that side, and yet there's some of the biggest consumers and patients of the marijuana and medical marijuana field. And that leads me right into the last week of weed headline. Guys, Oklahoma has turned out to be the fastest growing medical marijuana market in the whole country. They legalized medical marijuana, and almost everybody that got a doctor got some medical marijuana, okay? And it's the law over there that the physician is who tells you, yeah, you should have some medical marijuana. Your own physician. You don't have to get a special license. You don't have to do anything.
Nice.
And that basically kind of opened the door to people, doctors be like, yeah, you know what? You should try some medical marijuana, see how you feel. And so a lot of that is the largest medical marijuana market in the whole country. Oklahoma, a deep red state. So check it out, huh? What do you guys think about that?
I think more people need to do that. You know how many times I've been very frustrated talking to people that don't smoke, friends and family that I've said, you're stressed the hell out. You're going through it. You need to smoke. Just try it. Or you're sick or you're not feeling well. Just try it. Listen, I do, and it keeps me, pretty good, especially if I'm stressed, whatever. Those same people will say, oh, I need a drink. Or I'll have a glass of wine, this, that, and the third. But, and I'm sitting here trying to get you to explain, look, just try. You don't understand how much it really can kind of ease things. And now that you've got doctors doing this, I really hope that we see it more often. Because we talk about mental health, right? Honestly, if the United States government is not going to actually do something about the mental health epidemic here in the United States and actually provide some infrastructure for that, then maybe doctors around the U.S., maybe it's a little far-fetched, but should start, hey, look, man, smoke a joint every once in a while.
So anyways, guys, hashtag Week of Weed. We'll be back with football. Goodbye, guys.
The Podheads Web Show presents Pioneers in Pot. Jack Herer. A head shop owner early in his career, Jack Herer is widely known for his efforts to decriminalize cannabis and expand the use of hemp for industrial use. Made popular by the success of his best-selling book, The Emperor Wears No Clothes, a compilation of facts and figures surrounding cannabis as it relates to culture, commerce, and politics, Herer has been an influential figure in the legal cannabis movement since 1985. As an activist, he argued that cannabis should be legalized and taught how hemp could be used as a renewable source of fuel. Much of his work continues to be cited in cannabis rescheduling and legalization efforts today. There's also a pretty good strain named after him that is popular to date. Put one in the air for Jack Herer, a true pioneer in pot. All right, you're back in the Cypher with the Podheads. It's your Commander-in-Chief, Frank the Tank, at Podhead Frank on Instagram. Look for us on Facebook, though, at the Podheads Web Show. Give us a shout-out, man. Show us some love. We're going to be announcing the winner on social media next week of our prize package, who's going to get an awesome Podheads Web Show t-shirt, a huge glass piece, multi-chamber water pipe, and some rolling tray flyers, and amongst other things, some papers and whatnot. Excuse me. So that's going to be fun. But anyway, we wanted to talk about the NFL. Things have been times are changing. Bob Dylan said it best. Antonio Brown. Everybody's been talking about him. Quick timeline of events just to catch up C-Money and anybody else who's not really into sports. Late last year, Antonio Brown has issues with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Posts some tweets about his coach, asks for a release or for a trade. Eventually gets traded to the Raiders, who basically signs him to a $30 million guaranteed deal, right? Then freezes his feet, can't practice, has drama about a helmet, who says that he won't play till he's allowed to use a helmet that he wants to use, loses 2 appeals or loses 2 arbitration hearings on that before he finally comes to terms and uses a helmet that he wants, right? And at this point, he hasn't practiced for weeks. After all this goes down, he gets fined by his team for missed practices and then tweets about that, then picks a fight with the general manager at practice and is subsequently benched or suspended.
No,
right?
He's not suspended. He got fined for,
hold on. He got suspended. Then he says, oh, no, they threatened him with suspension.
Correct.
He comes here, apologizes. They say you can play Monday night. But then they fine him again and void his guaranteed money. So he asks for a release. Right? And then not even before the end of the day, he's signed by the freaking New England Patriots.
That's right. So again.
What?
Okay. So, I don't know.
This has to be the craziest 30 days. Or at least 90 days. If you're talking about, if you're going back to Pittsburgh, you're going back. But the last 30 days in Antonio Brown's life has to be the craziest days in NFL history, no?
Okay. So I'm going to step away from the Patriot fandom because I am super excited. The AB is at the New England is a wide receiver now of the New England Patriots. And it makes perfect sense. Before I move on about trying to be as irrational, that's not the right word, impartial about this whole situation, it makes perfect sense that he signed with the New England Patriots because no one else was able to afford him a day before the season starts. So if you're not going to get paid maximum money from anybody, you go to a guaranteed lock of a win. And not being a homer, but the Patriots are the closest thing to a perennial playoff team as there is. So I'll leave it at that. That's all I got to say as my Patriot fandom. Woo! But AB, okay, is a drama king. I don't know if I want to call him a queen. I don't mean that in a bad way, but he's a diva, okay? But I'm a fan of him because I told you earlier, Frank the Tank, he walks the walk, okay? He can be a diva because he's the best wide receiver in his generation, maybe even in the whole NFL history, okay? We don't know what happened in Pittsburgh, okay? We don't know really what happened. Well, we do know what happened in Oakland, okay? But he wants to be this. He needs the ball, okay? If you're a generational player, you get paid $30 million, he needs the ball. That was the problem in Pittsburgh. He wanted the ball, and Pittsburgh couldn't get him the ball, okay? He is the best wide receiver in a generation. He needs the ball. That's why he left Pittsburgh, I believe. And in Oakland, he apologized. Yeah, he's a diva, but you know what? I'm Oakland. I'm going to get paid. I'm sorry. But when you void somebody's $30 million.
Yes, you're right. He's a diva, right? But that word has been synonymous with like great wide receivers for a long time. You know what I mean? So
sure.
You take a guy that you know has a big personality, and you have to accept that because you know that comes with the territory of having the best wide receiver in the league. Okay, but then you want to have him come on the team and treat him like everybody else, or you want him to behave like everybody else. I mean, you're just not. How could you expect that?
Especially in a team game, in football, you have stars. Okay, you can't treat your quarterback like the third stringer. He gets away with certain things, okay? It's just the nature of it because his skill, his walk, I said it, he walks the walk. His walk demands it, okay?
Yeah. I just don't like the way the Raiders went about things. After you have Antonio Brown apologize in front of the whole damn locker room the best player in the league. You have him sit there, tuck tail, and apologize just so he can play Monday night.
Right.
You let him do that, and then you send him another one in the mail, a fine that subsequently voids his guaranteed money. Who the hell in any circumstance would ever play under those conditions?
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
But yeah, if I'm him and I am one of the best that does what I do, I mean, something simple like, hey, can I just have a different helmet? This one, I don't like it. Yeah, this is a billion-dollar league. A helmet's no problem. You know what I mean? Like
it was in the name of safety. The NFL said, no, this your helmet's not safe enough to our regulations these days. So I can't really get mad at that situation.
Oh, I didn't know that. But why though? So then, what was the purpose of his helmet? It looked cooler.
No, it just felt for him better. It was better for him. Who knows? Better on his neck, the weight, the feel. I understand. It's like gloves, like boxing gloves. You can't just throw on new boxing gloves and expect to be all right.
Yeah, I'm sure all the greats. I'm sure Muhammad Ali had a favorite pair of gloves. You know what I mean? But
he had advance notice, and he kind of took it to the end. So that was kind of like the drama out of it. So
there's no doubt he's selfish. There's no doubt. I don't think anybody can't make the argument that he's a selfish individual. He's, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that he's a bad. When it comes to, I guess when it comes to football, you know, he wants to play his game. He wants things his way, you know, and he's not really a team kind of player, is what I mean. I don't mean, you know, he's selfish.
I argue with that. I know. I argue. Yeah. I bet you he's a great team player, okay? But when the team's losing and you can't get him the ball, it's very frustrating because I know I'm the best player on this team. You can't tell me he doesn't get excited when the team wins. I guarantee you, the team player, and I heard he's the hardest worker on the field.
He's competitive and he works hard, but the point is, if he knows that he's affecting the team by his absence, then come on, what are you going to do?
Yes,
you can't say that way. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Well, in the counter question, and I don't know how much time we have left.
Yeah, we got to get going. Go ahead.
A quick counter question, but where do you guys draw the line to where you pull the guy aside and be like, dude, look, you get paid an obscene amount of money to do this. Like, all right, you're the best way you do, but dude, just shut up.
Just shut up.
You get paid.
It's just times are different, bro. We said the power, right? We started this with power. People, bro, you gotta take power for yourself. You can't let anybody else determine your worth. And you know you're the best player in the league, wide receiver at that position. I'm gonna get paid regardless. I don't have to deal with anybody.
The days of just shut up and play are over. Mm-hmm. They're over. People like LeBron James have changed that. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. These guys are we don't think about it right now, but they are the ones that are really kind of sacrificing for future generations to be able to kind of be protected. You know, I mean, there's so many stories about great players who died broke.
Sure.
Or who went homeless even, you know what I mean? And partly, a lot of that is on them too, you know what I mean? But that's a conversation for another day. Antonio Brown, guys, 837 receptions in 130 games, 11,207 yards, and 74 touchdowns.
Woo!
Definitely one of the greats, a future Hall of Famer, probably going to take the Patriots to the next Super Bowl. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Steelers. Thank you, Oakland. I hate you guys.
Pittsburgh is so pissed.
They're done. I mean, they have Brown. They have Ben. Yeah. I mean, Frank and I were just saying it before, but in terms of like the triple B, come on, that's done.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. Let us know what you think about the whole situation. Everybody's talking about it. It's one of the biggest buzz things going on right now. Is this cheat mode for the Patriots at this point? Should these things even be allowed?
Yeah, guys. This is someone just entered a cheat code in the main menu.
We're the handsome guy in the background, just waiting for you to break up and swoop right in.
Yes.
Like, what's your name?
Sneaky.
Well, that was my last point too. Is I do like how the Patriots came in and just said, you know what, we're going to show you all that there's no time for this. We got a game to play, so just come over here. You want what? Okay, cool. You know, like, so I don't like the Patriots particularly, but that boss move that they did of just said, yeah, swoop, we'll give you what you want. These guys are fools.
My last question before we go to break. Does Antonio Brown cause any drama in New England? Or does he is he quiet the whole time? What do you think?
Hell yes. Hell yes, because we'll give him what he wants. He wants the football. We will get you the football, young man.
So no drama for the rest of the year. We don't hear a peep out of AB.
Guaranteed, no drama from Antonio Brown.
Okay. See, buddy?
Interesting. I kind of side with JB. I think he knows he's among elites now, and I would assume the Patriots say there's no time for this nonsense. There's no time. It's petty. We got a game. We got to win. Sure. So, all right.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think there's no drama, but I don't think he fits. I don't think he ever truly fits in with the Patriots, and I don't think he plays past this season with them. That's my prediction. Okay. But anyway, with that, let's go to break. See, Money, what do we got next?
Yeah. Well, what we do have next, it's what burns my high. So we'll be right back, guys. How did it show?
They bring it on the near side to Antonio Brown. He's got room. Barones to beat, and there he goes. He'll be chased, and he is gone. 97 yards.
You ever see Son of a Woman?
Yup.
You ever seen Son of a Woman on weed?
You may have seen him before, but you've never seen him like this. We've scoured the archives in search of some of the worst movies just to bring you the hidden nugs that were made better by Bud. The Podheads Web Show presents The Drug Screening.
All right, that's right, folks. You heard the intro. It's the time again for the drug screening. And today, we're going to talk about a little movie called Sex Drive. It's a 2008 film starring Josh Zuckerman, Amanda Crew, Clark Duke, and James Marsden. It's got other people, appearances from Seth Green and Dave Sheridan as well. But it's a hilarious movie, guys. This is one that did not get a lot of success, like most movies that we feature on the drug screening. With a $19 million budget, it only brought in $18.8 in the box office. So it fell a little short from even breaking even, and only received a 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's about a high school senior who drives across country and is stealing his brother's badass car with his friends to hook up with a babe he met online. And of course, all sorts of hilarity ensues, including skirmishes with Amish folks and gun battles with giant donuts. It's hilarious, guys. I can't tell you enough. There's a scene where the kid is dressed in like a giant donut suit. There's just some hilarious scenes throughout the whole movie. As you can imagine, there's kids that are constantly just trying to get laid, and all kinds of awkward moments, you know, that teenagers may have. But you gotta watch it. I don't know if you've seen it. The car is this 1969 GTO Judge, by the way, that the brother is absolutely nuts about. James Marsden is the guy who plays Cyclops in the X-Men movies, by the way. Mm-hmm. He plays a complete dickhead in this movie, Big Brother, who's just abusive and just such a douche. Yeah, it's hilarious. You guys got to watch it. I definitely put it up there in one of my favorite movies to watch while you're stoned. Definitely you could do worse for an hour and a half of your time. That's the Sex Drive, folks. You heard it here on the drug screening. # drug screening. Check it out.
Thank you for that, Frank the Tank. Nor have I seen that movie, but it sounds interesting. Kind of sounds like a American Pie ripoff almost, even in a way, or Road Trip or Euro Trip or whatever. You know what I mean? So sure. It'll be very interesting. But that's good, because after a segment like this, a venting segment, something like the drug screening where you need to laugh is probably prudent, right? So this is what burns my high.
Hey buds, this is Making C Money from the Podheads Web Show. Welcome to my segment called Burns My High. This is a segment where I vent to my fellow peers, listeners, and friends about what irritated me since the last time we came together. Usually everyday life dealing with everyday people. I'm a Sicilian from New Jersey and I've just been told that I'm funny when I rant and rave. So this is what bothered me since the last time I got together with you guys.
All right, guys, and getting right to it because it always helps to vent, and I'm sure we all need to at some point throughout our day or throughout the week. We all work jobs and things that may pressure us and we want to implode, but this is what this segment's for, right? For everyday stuff. And speaking of which, most of us and everyone I know for a fact works a normal job. You know, they don't live a life of opulence, extravagance, things like that. So they work, you know, paycheck to paycheck. And what really just kind of caused me to go down this rabbit hole of how expensive things have gotten that we maybe used to have done as kids. I mean, we're in our 30s now. So things like going to a ball game or going to, you know, a local sporting event or anything like that, back in the day, I felt like was much more affordable, even for a family, let's say. Yes. But I mean, really, like nowadays, how much does it cost for an average family of 4, let's say, to go to their local professional baseball game? For everyone to have a ticket, parking, everyone to have a hot dog.
I tried the other day. I was looking a few weeks ago for bleacher seats for 5 of us. You're talking about at least $150 just to get in, and you're not even hot dogs and freaking sodas. Yeah, right. That's a $250 day, bro.
A $250 day to go see a ball game. You're not going to Disney World and you're not going to Six Flags. You're not going to some fancy restaurant to taste cuisines of the world for $250. No, you're going to a ball game to sit in the bleacher seats. You're not shaking hands with the players. You're probably not catching any balls. You might have to sit with gangbangers and bikers and drunk college kids. I mean, honestly, where does it stop? Like, I feel bad, and it makes me reflect on my mom being a single mom raising 4 kids and trying to keep us entertained on a weekend or something after working all week. You know what I mean? And where does it stop? I mean, your average person living paycheck to paycheck cannot afford to go to a ball game once a month, I assume. You know?
Most things that they claim to be entertaining are sometimes out of reach for the lower middle class, especially the poor people. Like you said, Disney. Frank the Tank talked about the movies a couple of weeks ago. He spent $100 to go to see a movie with his family.
To go see a movie where we could just watch it illegally here on our computers or TVs. You know what I mean? It's just such a joke. But we obviously go out for the immersiveness of going to the movies and being in the environment and all that. It's just sad, dude. Like, I tried to do something for my buddy who's getting married this weekend. I wanted to take him to maybe a UFC event. There's one coming up in Madison Square Garden soon. I was like, all right, cool. I've never been to one. He's been to a couple, but it's been a while, blah, 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 blah. Dude, I thought I knew what I was going into. It's Madison Square Garden to City. I get it. I've gone to things before in the past, but like the nosebleed of the nosebleeds, dude, was $330, $350 a ticket. And I'm just kind of like, that doesn't cost getting food, doesn't cost getting into the city.
It's not really enjoyable.
How is that enjoyable? Almost $1,000 day to go take him. It's just so sad, and it just really festered me. And that's where I started going down, like I said, the rabbit hole of what about families that live paycheck to paycheck that are stressed the hell out, parents are stressed the hell out, and they want to go do something with the kids or go do something with themselves and get a babysitter. They can't. Like I said, my heart goes out to people that have families and can't go have fun. I mean, Disney, like we had on another episode, I can't even imagine for a family of 4 or 5 to go stay for a weekend, let's say, to do a getaway. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. But you're in the thousands at that point.
It's insane. And moving on, guys, this is another thing that kind of irked me, I guess. I don't use that word often, irked, but it's an interesting one. And it's when we just brought up the point that people don't seem to realize that there are other people in your everyday that you may interact with where you really don't know what's going on in their lives. You really, truly, truly don't. And we've all probably, I assume, been through some hell of some sort, whether it be a personal hell or, you know, whether it be mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever. We've been distraught at some point, and we've probably gone into the world in that mood, interacting with someone a little more negatively or passively aggressive, or because you just feel a certain way and you don't really understand. Like, and I thought about this the other day where I was really I went to Burger King actually, and late 10 o'clock I didn't eat dinner, so I was like, let me just go get 2 hamburgers really quick for $2, right? You can't beat that. I mean, whatever. And I'm the health guy, don't do it often, but everything in moderation, of course. But the guy working the drive-thru, clearly in like his mid-50s and all that, and like, I don't know, I like to think that this guy is retired and just does this because he wants to get out of the house. It's probably not the case, and that's kind of sad because I feel like that's a college job. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see my fellow grown human doing this dependent on money, because it obviously probably don't pay well. Even if he's a manager, what is he making? 40K, 50K in North Jersey? That ain't much money, bro.
Sure.
Yeah. So what I noticed is, obviously you go to the drive-thru, you pay, and you want to leave. But I noticed that he wanted to like say something to me, and I normally would have just made nothing of it, but something told me to just kind of stop and indulge myself for a second in conversation with him. And it was just like a thing he wanted to vent about what happened with a customer earlier. He just wanted to say, yeah, it's crazy, man. And he just kind of like went right into it. And I'm just kind of sitting there like, whoa, all right. You know, like, this guy doesn't know. I could be a district manager of Burger King for all he knows, and he's venting about his job, whatever. But I wasn't, obviously. And what was interesting is at the end of the conversation, and I just got into about how we do a radio show and how I've been laid off from big companies and blah, 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 and dealing with customers. I've done with patients. It sucks.
Sure.
And at the end of the conversation, he said, thank you. And I picked up on that because I was like, why did he thank me? I bought food, that I had to like sit on that. And he obviously subconsciously didn't realize that dude, he needed to get something off his chest. And I honestly would assume your average person wasn't sitting there trying to listen to this dude at Burger King, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, hell.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't mean that in any sort of way. It's just this area that I live in. People just they're rude here.
So I'm sitting here trying to even wrap my... So you're telling me that you went to the burger joint and just started randomly picked up this conversation with the guy behind the counter who ended up venting to you about all this crap that just happened?
Right. So I pulled up,
That's crazy.
And it was really just as crazy as he handed me the money. I said, thank you. And something, I was, to put the car in drive and go, but he started saying something, and I just hit the brake, obviously, because, your normal intention would just think he's saying, oh, have a good day or whatever. Well, that's what I mean. How often do you get into a conversation with someone at the drive-thru? You don't.
Yeah.
You assume out of your peripheral hearing that they're just saying, bye, have a good day or whatever. But I picked up that he was saying, man, this is crazy. Like, it was something specific. Wow. So I kind of, and the guy, and it was very odd. They said, thank you. And I'm like, as I drove away, I'm like, that's crazy. I have no idea how this dude's day is. All he wanted to do, he was alone. So he's by himself, 10 o'clock at night, nobody to talk to. He's probably bored, miserable. He's working at Burger King, blah, 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 blah. Sure. I have no idea what this dude's life's like. All he wanted to do was just vent to someone. And he felt better, clearly, enough to say thank you to me, which caught me off guard. So the moral of my rant here, again, is, y'all, I get it. And my co-host will be the perfect ones to tell you that I understand what it's like to be really angry one day, to just... How many times have we been there where we say, oh my God, I could kill this person. I'm so pissed at what they just did to me, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going out into the world with that toxicity. And there could be someone handling something way worse than you are. And it's not about, whose situation is worse. That's all relative. But it's just, you don't know how they're handling that. And, this dude could have woke up, found out his wife was cheating on him. He's losing the house. He's losing the kids. He's getting divorced. And now you bumped into him, and because you're in some sort of way, because of your job or because of something else, and you bump into him instead of saying, I'm sorry, you say, hey, F you, man, you could die, bro. That could be your last day.
Absolutely. You might have made a big difference in that guy's life that particular day, so good on you. Sometimes it's important. Time is free, man. And sometimes just giving a little bit of your time to people, whether it's charity or just listening, can make a big difference. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you stopped and listened. Who knows?
So the moral of the story, guys, is like, you have a right to go through stuff, but don't take it out into the public world. But that's all I have. What burns my high. Be nice to each other. Smoke some herbage. And we'll be right back with one of my favorite segments to learn something. Higher learning.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of C Munchies, where I bring to you the latest and greatest food recipes, whether they be my own or ones I come across in my munchie journey. Keeping it summer, as always on the show, as summer is winding down, unfortunately, but then that gets us into some more delicious comfort food, so I can't wait to get to fall and winter. But keeping it summer, I'm going to give you a dressing, a salad dressing. Who doesn't have dressing when they're outside, having a good time, at a barbecue, so on and so forth? Salad is always there, and if it's not, it should be, because it's healthy. Let's get right into it. This is an Italian herb dressing. You're going to need 6 ounces of balsamic vinegar, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 3 teaspoons of dried basil, 3 teaspoons of ground oregano, 3 teaspoons ground thyme, and a dash of salt and pepper, or salt and pepper to taste. That's up to you, obviously. And that's it, guys. All you have to do is put it in a container, shake it, stir it, whatever you want to do to combine all the ingredients. And right there, you have an easy, delicious, healthy, keyword healthy, salad dressing. Let me know what you think, guys, at Make and See Money on Instagram and Twitter. Send me anything you make, pictures, DMs. Let me know what you guys come across in your munchie journey at Make and See Money from the Potheads Web Show, guys. Enjoy. I'm out.
Welcome back, folks. It's hashtag Weed Wednesdays, the Potheads Web Show. WJHM 102 Jams. Thanks for sticking with us. Everybody who listens, everybody that follows, we really appreciate it. And we hope that you tell your friends and family about us and can help us build this community. Anyway, C Money, awesome with the C Munchies, always telling you guys delicious recipes. And now it's time to learn. So, like I always say, get your pen and pad out, grab a seat, and put that thinking hat on. It's time for higher learning. That's it. That's right, folks. I am smarter than you. And if you don't believe it, find me on social media at Pothead Frank and challenge me or teach me something. I'm all about the knowledge. So look for me all over social media. Anyway, today we're going to talk about the NFL. Crazy facts, interesting facts that I learned about the NFL. So, guys, hang on. Tell me what you guys think. The first one that I heard here that kind of blew my mind, I thought was awesome because we're a show that's themed about 420. How about this? The Denver Broncos and Seattle Seahawks have combined for over 50 wins and less than 12 losses since their states became the first to legalize recreational use of marijuana.
So we're talking about pain management, stress relief, right? All the other things that can, not enhance your performance, but just make you chill, relax, move on to the next day. That's a great little fact. I wonder what that really means.
I don't know. Just maybe more support, right? I thought this one was pretty trippy. Maybe a little racist. I don't know. Numbers don't lie. It's estimated that a boy born to a Samoan parent is 56 times more likely to play in the NFL than any other kid in America.
Because we're going to be huge.
Is that not crazy?
Right. Not only huge, just big mass, right? Big bones, big muscle mass. Boy. Just a Samoan guy, just big like The Rock.
Yeah, I was going to say, The Rock, Mark Hunt from the UFC. Look at these dudes. Yeah.
Huge guys. Naturally strong.
Yeah.
Purely strong.
Yeah, they got the haunches.
The power of Atlantis behind them.
Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre. Did you guys know? Arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, right? Definitely one of the greatest on the Packers. Did you guys know that his first completion was to himself? Yes, Brett Favre. Yes, his first completed pass was a loss of 7 yards to himself after a deflection that he caught.
Oh, he got batted back. He caught it. Okay, that isn't bad. You know what? I would say that's a bad omen for your career, but he actually had a pretty decent long career. So yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
Here you go. This one's for JB. The Montreal Expos selected Tom Brady as a catcher in the 18th round of the 1995 MLB draft.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow, the Montreal Expos. They're no longer around. I think they became the Nationals, the Washington Nats.
Yeah.
But yeah, a catcher? Listen, I saw him in Michigan. He was a stick, a 6-foot piece of Gumby. Like, Gumby, that's what he looked like. So to get as a catcher makes really no sense to me at all, really.
Wow.
Just in case it didn't work out, I'm glad it worked.
I guess. Well, a lot of those guys are dual sports, but he got drafted. I would have imagined the pitcher, but hey, you never know.
Right. Anything else, but catcher?
Here's one that was pretty trippy. A 1994 study of 7,000 former players found that average life expectancy for NFL player is 55. The average population at that point was 77 for your average person. So that just goes to show you how dangerous it is just to play in the NFL.
CTE, man. CTE is a true proven thing that it kills these guys a lot earlier, deteriorates their brain.
Yeah. Here's one that I love for me. The Giants have won 4 Super Bowls, okay? Of course, 2 of them were against the Patriots. Well, the interesting factoid about this was that Bill Belichick was on the sidelines for all 4 of our Super Bowl wins. Super Bowl 21 and Super Bowl 25, he was our defensive coordinator. And, of course, he was the head coach of the Patriots when we beat them in 42 and 46.
So you're welcome. I'll take that.
That is funny. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. We talked about charities before. Remember about how they don't really give as much as you think they're giving to the charities when you donate that money. Only about 8% of money spent on pink NFL merchandise is actually going towards cancer research.
So what else is 92% of that money goes to? Oh, that's bullshit.
And that's according to a story from Business Insider in 2013. So, guys, if you want to support breast cancer research, maybe buying your pink beer koozie from the NFL isn't a good idea. Yeah.
Get out of here. It is a joke. Wow, I'm pissed right now.
Yeah, are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. Damn, 92%? You bastard, you greedy monsters.
Yeah. Everybody remembers the Super Bowl shuffle, right? From the Chicago Bears, the Super Bowl winning Chicago Bears. They're really corny. People, I think there's a kind of a rendition of it every year. Well, the Super Bowl shuffle was actually nominated for a Grammy in 1987. Pretty crazy. I just thought that was interesting.
Ridiculous. Yeah, wow.
Okay, here's a little trivia question for you guys. There's only one player in NFL history to date to score a touchdown against all 32 NFL teams. Who is this one player?
Give us a hint. Can you give us his position?
He's a wide receiver.
Oh. Is it Jerry Rice?
Nope, that's a good guess. Take a guess.
I have no idea, dude.
Terrell Owens.
Wow. Okay. He played for a lot of different teams and a lot of different leagues, so that makes sense.
Pretty interesting, right? I didn't know that before this. Here's one that I thought was pretty crazy. The longest non-scoring pass in NFL history was Jim Hart's 98-yard completion to Ahmad Rashad from the 1-yard line to the 1-yard line. How do you not score on that play?
Yeah, how do you not score at that point? Like,
oh man,
die right before you.
And he'll always live with that. Yeah, but you didn't score though. Yeah, I didn't score.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I wonder if they scored after that. They better have scored in that drive.
Imagine turn around all downs.
Like turnover on downs or a turnover period.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god.
Seriously. Here's one that was pretty interesting. Percy Howard. He's an NFL player who just caught one pass in his entire NFL career. It was a 34-yard touchdown for the Cowboys in Super Bowl 10.
What was his position?
He was a wide receiver.
Bad, and somebody could keep the leg, right? And they just had to throw in the 4th-string wide receiver. And it just so happens you were the only one. They didn't even cover you. You were so bad, they didn't even cover you, and you just caught the ball.
That dude still made more money than any of us combined will ever make. What is it, like $500,000 to be on the practice squad for the NFL?
Yeah, you make definitely 6 figures for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure back in Super Bowl 10 times there was, but
Right.
it was the pay was that good.
$2,500.
Yeah. Cowboys.com became a male dating website after owner Jerry Jones refused to pay $275,000 for the domain name in 2007.
So what is the website for the Dallas Cowboys? Is it TheDallasCowboys.com? Probably.
Let's find out.
Go to Cowboys.com first.
It's Dallas. Oh, now it's DallasCowboys.com.
That's funny, man.
I mean, would you pay? I guess it's not worth $250,000.
No, I wouldn't. But on that note, guys, that's it, man. I just thought those were funny little facts about the NFL. Enjoy your NFL season this week, guys. We will be updating you on our fantasy football league, Turkey Bowlers, in which I intend to win the championship. So stay tuned for updates on that. I'm at Pothead Frank. Thanks for listening to the Potheads Web Show every Wednesday. Hashtag Weed Wednesdays. JB.
Thanks again to everybody out there listening to us. Thanks to people who support us. We're at the Potheads Web Shows on every platform you can think of. Spreaker.com, WJHM102games.com, YouTube. Our episodes on YouTube. Castbox. We talked about it earlier. Just Google us. Yeah, it was a good one, guys. We'll see you next time. See money.
Yeah, Spotify too. I don't know if you said that. I lose track of all the platforms we're on at this point, so it's hard to miss us. If you enjoyed the show, spread the word. Remember, be nice to people. You don't know what they're going through. It's always a good time here in the Cypher at Making C Money on Instagram and Twitter. Have fun, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace out, y'all.
This is Speedy Willie, and I'm world class. I like running, but I love to get the pass. I practice all day and dance all night. I gotta get ready for the Sunday fight. Now I'm as smooth as a chocolate swirl. I dance a little funky, so watch me, girl. There's no one here that doesn't like me. My Super Bowl shuffle will set you free.
I'm Samurai Mike, I stop 'em cold. Part of the defense, big and bold. I've been jamming for quite a while, doing what's right and setting the style. Give me a chance, I'll rock you good. Nobody messing in my neighborhood. I didn't come here looking for